A lot of videos are great about teaching you the underlying principles of how to study more effectively, but fail to teach you how to actually implement them. So that's what we're covering today. Let's go. The first part here comes with initial review, and you will actually have to do some reading because obviously you have to get the information into your brain somehow, but the key here is reading with reflection. And this will help shift the initial review from passive more toward active learning. So read a little bit, maybe a slide or two on a specific topic, and then stop to reflect on what you just read. What are the important points and how does it connect to what you've learned previously? You can also stop to think about what questions you might be asked, and in fact, practice testing is another very effective study tool. If you can, try to do this before class so you at least have a low-level understanding of the material, so that way you're free in the classroom to more effectively engage with the professor and your classmates. By doing the initial reading and review at home, which is still relatively passive, that then frees you up to ideally engage in more active learning in the classroom, when you actually have the subject matter expert present. In later review sessions, you can then use thing number 2, which is active recall and retrieval, and you can effectively use this by working through your slides in chunks. You can look at the header on a set of slides to see what the topic is, but then put the slides down and try to expand on that topic to the best of your ability, detailing everything that you know, or at least what you think you know. One way that I personally like to do this is to pretend like I'm teaching it to someone. Or if you have a friend or family member present, actually teaching it to someone. Teaching a subject forces you to think through it more critically, and this reinforces your own learning. This is why they say, when one teaches, two learn. So you might say that by teaching you how to study more effectively, I'm actually learning how to study more effectively. Did I just blow your minds? So when you're teaching, you can actually vocalize whatever you're studying, maybe not in the library, but at your home, at your apartment, you get the idea. And I do actually think that it helps to say these things out loud. Welcome to my TED Talk. Today we're discussing why more people haven't subscribed to my channel. Once you've completed a specific topic, then go back and check your accuracy on the slides, and then obviously try to make corrections on your next pass through. Then you can add in another topic, practice retrieval and review, and once you feel confident with that one, go back and do the first two together in a cumulative manner, and then you can add a third one in and rinse and repeat. You can do this in a stepwise manner, effectively adding in one topic at a time and then continuously reviewing them. The end result here is essentially you should be able to take the topic on just the title slide and expand fairly eloquently on that topic for the entire set of slides without relying on memorization, because now you have a good understanding of the actual material. Now that we actually have an understanding of how to conduct our study sessions, we can introduce the third concept, and that is spaced repetition. And this is the thing that's effectively going to help move the information from our short-term to our long-term memory, effectively cementing it in our brains. Lately, my favorite way of doing this is by using what we call a retrospective revision timetable. And this is great because it provides flexibility in allowing you to focus on the things that you actually need work on while not wasting time on the things that you're already fairly proficient at. So in the retrospective timetable here, you see in the far left column that we have the topics, and these are just topics covered during a specific class period. There should be a set of slides for each of these. You can also use these tabs at the bottom to separate your classes. And then to the right, these are just dates that you return to review a topic, and you can rate them by difficulty using different colors. So red would be, I didn't know it very well. Yellow would be, I had an okay understanding but didn't quite fully grasp it, and then green would be, I have a pretty good idea of how this works. I like the retrospective revision timetable because while it does provide structure, it also provides flexibility in that you don't necessarily have 500 smart flashcards due every day. You essentially make your own schedule, but you do have priorities in knowing what you need to be focusing on. And that's a nice segue into the next spaced repetition tool that you could be using, which are smart flashcards. And these are programs like Anki where you make smart flashcards on your computer. With Anki, you can either make your own cards or you can find a pre-made deck. When presented with the card, you answer it and then rate your confidence level. That will determine the next time interval that you see that same card. Essentially, the higher the confidence level, the longer it will be before you see that same card again. And this ensures that you're spending more time on the things that you actually truly need work on, and you're wasting less time on the things that you're already familiar with. If you happen to be studying for the MCAT, there's a fantastic application that I recommend called Mem, and the cards are already pre-made here, so you don't have to go through the pain of making your own Anki cards. Just a quick disclaimer on using these smart flashcards, it can still be very easy easy to fall in the trap of memorization versus understanding. So if you do use them, just make sure that you're stopping to reflect to ensure that you actually understand the material. So these are just a few ways that you can actually implement these strategies. By no means is this list exhaustive or the end all be all. They're just some things that have worked well for me, and I do believe have some good evidence behind them. Use a little trial and error to see what works best for you, and if you find anything that works well, go ahead and throw it in the comments below. And for those that don't know, this was video number 3 in a 3-part series, so if you haven't already, go back and watch part 1 and part 2, and let me know what you think. And obviously, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.